So, we've got some information here. We've got two TVs. One's a 55-inch TV and one's an 80-inch TV. And what we want to know is their areas. I know, we're finishing it out today.
Oh my goodness, 132. Just go to the back and forth.
And flip in one page.
Yippers.
So, first thing we need to know is how to find the area of one of these dang things. So we've got an 80-inch TV, and we're going to start looking at the 80-inch TV first. Yeah, we're going to use that. So that 80 inches, that's like on the giant number on the side of the box of the TV. How do they measure TVs? Do you know? But do they measure?
Diagonal.
I'm gonna say like this, or diagonal?
Diagonal.
Diagonal. So when you get an 80-inch TV, I'm not getting an 80-inch width. I'm getting 80 inches across that way. So if we want to know what the area is of the TV, what lengths do we need to know? Oop. Yeah, we need to know the height, we need to know the width. So I want to find out this guy, and I want to find out that guy. Another piece that we know here is called the aspect ratio, which is like a scale.
Oh, I know what aspect ratio is. I've heard about it in video games.
Yeah, you have.
Like display.
And what that's for is to adjust your computer output to different sizes of screens that have different aspect ratios, meaning different height versus width combinations. So 16 by 9.
16 would be the width, and 9 the...
Yeah. Every, 16 inches on the bottom, we get 9 inches of height. So 16 by 9 is how we get that aspect ratio. So I know whatever this width is, it's going to be some multiple, basically, of 16. Because if I have 1 unit x, my width is going to be 16 times some number x. And my height, since I know it's 16 by 9, for every x that I have on the bottom, I'm going to have 9 on the height. It's using that aspect ratio. So my height is going to be 9x, and my width is going to be 16x. It's just letting us use that aspect ratio. So there's a whole lot of words on this part of the page, and it's just like all the things I could put on the screen right here and have it be somewhat readable. So what we're looking at is we're trying to figure out what this height is and what this width is. We're going to call it 9x on this side and 16x on this side. If I know a diagonal and I know one side of a rectangle, kind of, I know the 16x and I know this is 9x, what could I do to find out what these pieces are? What's the relationship I have between the diagonal, the tall side, and the long side? It's a triangle. I've got a right angle in this corner. I know, we have not done this in a while. This guy's a triangle. I know my leg, and my hypotenuse.
Oh, I remember this now.
We're going to use our Pythagorean theorem.
Boo.
Yay! To be fair, they've started walking you through it here. Pythagorean theorem, when we're looking at a triangle, just so I can, because my picture's on the other page. We've got our 80 here, our 9x, and our 16x. So what they've done is they've just decided that this guy's going to be the A in our Pythagorean theorem. This side is the B in the Pythagorean theorem. And this side is the C. Which one's A and which one's B genuinely does not matter. C does.
Will C be, like 80?
C is going to be the 80. It's going to always be the hypotenuse. It has to be the hypotenuse. Which leg is which doesn't really matter. But so then we're doing our A squared plus our B squared equals our C squared. So we put in, and they've already started that process for you. They put in our 9x in place of the A. They put our 16x in place of the B. And they put our 80 in place of the C. So then they've even started to do that simplification for us because they're helping. So our 9x squared, 9x times 9x, gives us 81x squared. Our 16x squared gives us 256x squared. And what goes over here? They left a blank for us. What are we going to get right here? Because this was our 9x squared. This was our 16x squared. So we need our 80 squared. We're going to get 6,400. Now they're giving us a lot less actual help. So we're going to figure it out. So if I have 81x squared plus 256x squared, and they are giving me a hint that says combine my like terms, what are we going to have? Because they gave us a little hint right here. Okay. What do we get when we combine our like terms here? I highly recommend we use the calculators on the table, not the calculators on our phone. We're getting very easily distracted right now. You have calculators that will not distract you as easily. I recommend those.
Over that phone.
Over that phone, because we're getting distracted. Ooh, I'm getting all kinds of over the places. I've got 81 things plus 256 things. 337 things. We were just combining our like terms right here. So I still have my 6,400 here. We didn't do anything to it. Just was combining our like terms. I have 81 things and 256 things. Just because they're x squareds, it just means they're weird looking things. They're the same thing. So now I want to get my x squared by itself. So what are we going to do? Super close. Because, dude, dramatic. I want to divide both sides by 337 to get this side to cancel out. So just be careful when you're putting in the calculator because I need my 6,400 divided by the 337. I'm going to keep 2 decimal places. 18.99. Yep. We're going to have 18.99 equals our x squared. Yes. Now, to get rid of my square, we use the to unsquare something, we square root it. So we're going to square root our 18.99 and give me 3 decimal places. 4.358. So remember, that's not the width of my TV. Because remember, the width of my TV is 16 times something. And the height of my TV was 9 times something. It's almost like it was on purpose on the other side. So what is the length of this TV? We have to do 16 times our 4.385. So what is the width of my TV, or the length of my TV? Oh, 5'8". Yes, 5'8". That's called, I'm writing it from memory and I flip-flopped them. 5'8". There we go. So what is the length on this TV? I'm going to take 3 decimal places. I was like, I have 728. And our width, 39.222. So now we want the area of the TV. How do I find the area? Close. How do I find the area of a rectangle? Because we're looking at our whole TV now. I know that this side is our 39.222. I know that this side is our 69.728. How do I find my area? Multiply them. Length times width. So we take our 39.222 and we're going to times by our 69.728. What's our area? Say it louder.
2,734.
872. What's our unit here? Inches squared, because it's an area. So an 80-inch TV is almost 3,000 square inches. It's 2,734.872 square inches. That's a big TV. I mean, to be fair, it's smaller than this one. This is bigger than that. Actually, it might be about that size of my screen up here.
We can measure it.
We could. I'm not going to get it out right now, but we could do that. Okay? So that was the 80-inch TV. Our job here is to compare the 55-inch TV to the 80-inch TV. So now that I have everything we need to about the 80-inch TV, we need to look at the next page and see what happens with the 55-inch TV. And, oh snap, don't we see it? We match exactly what it said we should have on our 80-inch TV.
So then why would you do the next page then?
And it's almost like it was on the backside for a reason. So we wouldn't see it.
See what I did is I didn't round any.
I know, but that's why I left it at 3 decimal places, so I knew it would match then.
Yeah, it's not actually that size.
Well, no, it's not actually that size. This one's closer, because we didn't round as much.
I didn't round at all.
Oh, okay.
It was 3734.718101 inches squared.
Awesome. We don't have to be quite that specific for this to show what we want.
Well, my calculator just
That's
I
fine.
can just do it easier.
Yes. Okay. So, I want you to try and do the same thing with the 55-inch TV. We're gonna take a little bit of time. I want you to take like 10 minutes.
Alright.
Because we got through that in about 5. So take 10 minutes. Flip back and forth. Look at that other process. Do the same thing. You're just doing it by yourself without it kind of guiding you through. If you need to, flip back and forth. We got a 55-inch TV. It has the same aspect ratio. It's still a 16:9. So see what we can figure out for length versus height and our area.
Does an 8 have more than 12? So what's that? Times it by 2?
We will be looking to see about that. I'm going to talk us through it.
Our area?
Our areas.
If you want, I could do actual.
That's fine. I'm using the same kind of vibe that we have here.
Oh no, I'm my phone.
More than twice the area. So length is. Wait a minute.
Double check.
More than twice.
No, no, no.
Just twice. Yeah.
Y'all are whispering way too sneakily back there. Makes me very nervous. Okay. I can't hear you now. What's up? Give me a second, I'll write you past.
Where's the best? You could start writing it out for her.
That's fine. I will write it. Give me a second. I'm just finishing it. Dang.
You would not.
I got it.
Hey, Brian,
Is it in there? Spill it up too. Spill that hot tea.
Same aspect issue. Yep. Yep. Do it.
So it's
Do not know the area.
Oh, so we do the 9 to 50 and then 6 to 8 is 55?
yeah.
Dramatic.
Anyway, so yeah, we do the 9 to 50 and then it's 55 to 8.
I'm doing fine.
Yep. No, you'll just be dramatic and dramatic. You're gonna stick with that.
Like messed up, like she didn't get the
I mean, here, can. Losing a lot of tape.
girl.
You just I got it. Just cover
And usually some people like
See,
ketchup.
qualified.
Like, cause you know how some people like only have the ketchup? We're supposed to put it in the bag and then it's on top. So what happens if you put ketchup on top of the napkin? She we do anybody cheese, I would give her 1 coffee because it's back in the
13 minutes for one card.
yeah, only 2 chefs back there.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, it's
The longest thing takes 6 minutes. Prior. Chicken. That's wrong. It's like a big chicken
other
patty.
stuff like fries.
Then you got square root.
Chicken is $3.30. Supposed to take 12 minutes. Or chicken fries is also.
Green button and then the square button.
Fries, you usually
Thank you.
Say, I can get you to spread any button on that thing.
110. Because then they're not, they don't usually spend it. You get 8.9. I'm doing 10 also. Usually you just press irons instead of multiply.
Yeah.
It took me 13 minutes to even get it better.
Wow. Really drafty.
He just had that.
You do nothing.
Because one learning experience for they need to learn to get faster.
Wow. I mean, still, like, that can just show you, hey, maybe she's not ready to be in that position. Like, manager position. You know, it's like basic stuff for like, you know, your employee, not like, this is stuff like, a manager would already like, have succeeded in, you know, like, in much experience, like, in experience.
Here's the thing. There's some people want to like pastures. Or even cashew. So, I'm gonna be a little slow. There's usually nothing you don't like. You're gonna be slow. I'm like, okay, this one here was like, maybe one.
No, that's a,
No, I'm like,
it's like,
Calm down.
I'm
You'll get your
okay,
bills
so
back.
8-piece chicken nugget, I want a medium, I want medium fried, I want medium shake, you know?
You'll get your food.
okay, so we got.
Sir, I did not get half of that.
Right, and also the smaller, should have more square foot experiences. 16, I like to say.
Screens are this little bit annoying.
Small.
So there's like 7 like screens over here. And how it
But it's like.
it's so annoying because like it says like kids
It's like 40
even
that's not big. It's even like big, it's like high.
Too much.
and if it says kids meal, you're supposed to add a small value for it.
I'm curious, I've never had that.
That doesn't have that. It just says kid meal, so we don't really need fries.
I don't know, see, how Larry recorded it though, cause she didn't.
So
What does,
you can't get second.
You can, 2 or 3 decimal places.
And I was getting things and everything else.
I'm intrigued.
And she
Not star stuff.
Alright, so the 80-inch TV, those of y'all saying it was a ridiculous size, this is 77.
my goodness.
So it's just a little bit bigger than my screen up here. So not obnoxiously big, but
It's like,
How big are movie
a
theater
little
screens?
slide, like a little shade.
several feet.
see, I knew there was money for it.
Yeah.
Should I think about that being a room that is
Look
usually
outside.
50 feet at the bottom?
It's a little scary
I'm
outside.
like, I wanna see you get in the kitchen.
Sure, it's not worse than it was this morning.
I wanna see you.
And then it's not dark. It's not cold enough for it to stick to the ground, it's just sticking to the stuff that's sitting up. So it's basically more height than place. It's still not even sticking to the sidewalks.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's how I started.
And it's not like they
I
shoveled
wanna
them.
say that. But let's see.
Alright. So I feel like most of us at the very least should have our length and width. What did we get for our length and width?
Printing nothing.
We should not have 2.9. That was our X. What's our length?
Oh. Wait,
Mm-mm.
whole leading code,
Yeah.
47.84.
Yep.
Oh.
And then where's the 27.9?
Yeah, and so depending on where we rounded, it may be slightly different. I took 3 decimal places, so mine's a little bit longer. I did 2.996.
And she.
I rounded that one to 3,
Because I ain't-
which means mine are slightly different, but yours should be relatively close. You shouldn't have anything more than an inch away.
Come on. Go ahead with your order.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, you just want to say that.
I did too.
All right, so then find your area. That is an old reference.
I said John, bro. I appreciate that.
It is still an old reference. Just because it's making a comeback does not change the fact that that is almost older than me. Good Burger's been around for so long.
What is your tradition alfalfa?
Yeah, he did that.
Alfalfa?
Wow. Little rascals, really?
Wow.
So our area should have been something around, what did you guys get?
I didn't even do that.
What did we get for our area?
Is it an alfalfa?
Just give me to the whole inch, because that should mean we're all pretty matching. Round off to the nearest inch for our area. Should be pretty close.
Is she like?
Yeah, somewhere in the 1,290 range, should be anywhere between 88 and 90. I think 3 was the biggest I've seen. And that really just depends on where we rounded. Mine goes 92.54. But again, it could be slightly different based on where we rounded. Or if we rounded. Some of us are just continuing it in the calculator and keeping it as super long decimals. So then what we're doing is we're going to compare those two areas. We're going to see if this advertisement is right. Does the 80-inch TV have more than double the area of the 55? So our 80-inch TV, we had, it's written at the top of the page there, 2,734.872. And we're looking at the difference between it and our 55-inch TV. So that one we just found. So we're going to find the difference. Uh-huh. You said subtract. It got the point across. So what is the difference between those two? Give me before the decimal place. Ish.
No, he wasn't.
It should be about 1,400 and change. So again, this will depend on where you round it. So if the difference between them is 14,000, is the advertisement true? Does the 80-inch TV have more than double the 55-inch TV?
Yes.
By a lot. As a series.
Well, it has more than the 55-inch by a lot. Is it more than double by a lot?
No.
It's so stupid.
So what you could do if you want to know that specific, you could double the 55 and then find that difference.
Yeah, so this is a real world situation too.
I don't know. Something that doesn't have to do with, you know.
Okay, so being able to take that difference, that information, those numbers that you're looking at, and putting it into words, putting it into context, is one of those big things that we have to do. It's a way we relate what we've done, our math, back to the stories we're given. So yes, the 80-inch TV does have more than double the 55-inch TV, and it's a matter of can you convey that through your words there. Not throw.
Oh.
I said don't throw period, not it,
Oh, I
just
was gonna
throw.
throw
Because I got some things that are glass in here.
See this?
Okay, so that is officially the end of the workbook. Like if you look, there's no more pages.
It's a drawing page.
I mean, it's a blank page. It's because I try and do that to make sure we don't wind up on that page at the end. Because writing on the plain black background makes the texture go through, and I hate that sensation. So I always make sure there's at least one plain one at the back, so that second to last page, you're not stuck writing purely on the black background page because texturally icky. So. What is tomorrow I will talk to you guys about the project and get you guys the information for that so we can start working on it, can start looking at it tomorrow, and then when we come back after break, we'll have the whole week to work on it. And I'll get the review for the final put together so when you're done with that project, you can start working on that. So that's all we have after break is the project and then getting ready for finals.
How we have finals again? School just started.
Dude, it is almost December.
Yeah, but it still feels like it's August.
I think you should go for a walk. We're very quickly just prove your point.
Mentally, I'm still stuck in August.
Valid. Absolutely valid.
Well, actually, really November 2023. Voting for that.
Just press that two.
And
Yeah.
I remember when the whole server went down to blackout for 3 days. The first time they
She's
did a
an
horrible
OG.
update.
She's an OG. She knows how it is.
Because I remember warning all of my other teachers that I don't like your teaching and be like,
In that
your
first
teachers
game,
are going to be freaking out because they went down and you don't know how long until they come back.
Bro, you got Pike yet? Oh yeah, because we had fall break in Pike.
Oh yeah, I was in Central.
Bro, why do you
And
remember
so,
that
like,
exact
we
date?
were not on break, and all the gamers were like, what is happening? And like watching for updates.
Yeah, we were on fall break and it was like, it was 2019, right?
It's 2019.
I was 7th grade.
Yeah. I was teaching high school at the time, and I remember that. Because I was in a match when it went
I don't
down.
know if it was.
No, I knew it was down, but I didn't know.
I can tell you exactly every single season what the theme was.
200. Just over 448 now.
I can tell you.
That's
what I was
gonna
60. Okay, chapter 1, season 0. It was like the game was in Vegas. It's chapter 1, season 1. There was no really theme.
Yeah, it would be.
1, season 2. It
There was
was.
All the completion behind it.
No, I mean now it is. Now it's called chapter 1.
That'd be good.
I mean, yeah, that's what
But
I'm
it's
talking about. Let's say,
That's not a
season 2, we had, season 3, we had astronauts. Season 4, we had, Omega Oranges. Season 5, we had Drift.
Right.
Season 6,
It's like a valid only was
Calamity. Season 7 is Snow, all that. Season 8 was the Pirates. Season 9 was the Season 10 was the Mexico. Chapter 2, season 1, it was a land game.
I think it'd be best if I learned
So we had the Storm
blah,
King.
blah,
Chapter 2, season 2, Midas and all that.
cause this and that.
Chapter 2, season 3, when the flood happened.
This, for you guys. I remember the flood, you know.
And here's the
This is like simple.
Oh.
having
What was the
items on everything.
Like and sub.
Man,
Did you start a YouTube channel? Oh my goodness, look how trash you were at 14. For fun.
I can do better than that. Right now.
So, my sister, it's like you're playing
Let me show you what I was talking about in 2020.
my kid's birthday.
I need to stick.
I'm like, she was having me do
She said you was on y'all for like 3 days.
keeps flipping it.
This is where I was on.
I mean, if you got,
Like,
what you gotta do?
But this one I just switched the keyboard and mouse, bro. I know this is horrible.
There was like,
I'm not
the fries,
I don't know.
like that.
I know this is when I just started on keyboard and
Sticks
mouse.
or whatnot. And it was, I would have worked with, it was like 16 there, 7 in there. It's like, oh.
This on TikTok.
No, that's what I bro. I'm way better than that
Let's go
now.
down.
And then I didn't play for like a year because my account got stolen.
Like,
And, yeah, it was so funny.
8,000.
Nah, cause I did some stuff.
Cause I'm not done.
When I made the
Right.
account,
More than one.
If you're running out,
I got boys in. I think
that's like
did I have enough kids?
I think we were doing that. Oh, my fault.
Yeah, and we always have
Miss,
more.
Yeski, did you grade the posters?
Not yet.
I'm trying to see something. Ah.
That's that bone.
I did it. Oh, yeah, did you finish your finish?
See, you got
It's
five.
not artistic, but
Ooh. I usually use like a Sharpie or
I stopped, man.
Got to. It's on the rubric, man.
It's
Early
straight,
2023.
It's not to have like, you gotta see it.
it's straight Warzone now.
never says anything for sure. You can see it.
Wait, which Warzone? Oh, that sucks. Warzone ain't even good since the first Warzone.
Yeah, you're three.
Well, nothing.
386.
Warzone is buttons now.
Imagine if it gets lost.
Oh, she knows.
Basically, all the big guys. So they had nothing but booty in the game.
Be doing this.
A-Max. It's on the board. You was one of those, weren't you?
Wait. What's your class? What's your class?
When you get, you know, you get.
What's your primary and secondary?
SCG. Instead.
I don't know about that second. SCD valid.
Wait, the M13.
Oh, the M13 was tough.
No, yeah. Hold it back right now. M13 is still good.
Or do they even have any of the good guns from the first one? That's what I'm. Did they bring back the H4?
They brought the,
What's that?
The H4
Someone had a firearm?
They bring it back.
It's what I heard.
Yeah, that's why I'm not playing. So they bring those back. I'm not
They
playing.
got the,
Today.
Like first period. It was in their backpack.
The N-card might have been a horrible game, but the guns and Warzone was valid. What are you talking
But,
about?
Hey, I missed the
yeah,
map.
say I have
Wait.
100% enough more information than that.
I swear. I
To make y'all find out a whole lot more.
No, not the game.
Way faster.
Oh, I can.
Still.
That's scary.
I can find that out.
So wait, when you were doing Warzone and like we're trying to
Trust me.
you were playing
Like,
a guy.
people always like,
Or-
quote, sometimes like joke that school shootings go like on a serious note.
But here's the thing.
On a serious note, it's
You
not.
were using what? This one, Black Ops two?
Yeah, so it was,
Oh, yeah,
I
that's
thought
why
it was
you
gonna be
were
actual fight, somebody jumped in, I was like, you know, it's sad to watch.
I don't play anymore. I don't play that game since
Doing
2020.
a bloody face in every.
Well, hey, once they release.
Yeah, like I saw
Warzone,
the
I'll
videos
talk
and
to
I was
you.
like, this is just sad to watch, bro.
Bro,
Like,
I have
because-
so much
Exactly.
because I
You can change it, yeah, your POV, you can
and
change
she's
it.
Your FOV. I was like POV.
Dude was in there.
Wait, you guys are on comp?
see, like, in like 2024, for
Oh,
someone
wait,
to
oh,
like
just
say
not
the
able to
N-word and
change
just
your
get
FOV.
that
Oh,
mad
because you guys are
over
on
it,
console. Oh, that's why.
it's really like,
I was like, that's not a new feature.
it wasn't over that, so they said, like, he said the N-word and they got mad over it, they was gonna jump in the morning, I guess. No, the dude, the light skin or the what dude? It was like a light skin.
Tub.
Yeah, he was.
8K, you weighed 8.
Oh, so he was light skinned.
Or this is
It was over a store.
Are you playing Black Ops 3? Are you Black Ops 6?
That's even stupid.
Black Ops 6. Oh, I want to try to play that.
Yeah, no.
See,
Wait.
I don't know why
Which
Pike
edition
is
should I
like,
get if I do get it? Huh?
Because they did find tapes on the guy who jumped him. Funny, right?
Who you talking to?
I guess people
Who's he
just
talking to?
go in the environment that it's Warzone teach them right from
Yeah.
Warzone's not that late.
You're doing that over a big cartridge.
Seriously. You are not like a crash on like,
Shit on everybody.
Like, that's a little much.
like picking them up and dropping them and
Stomping him in the face and 3v1ing him.
Stupid.
And
Like, it's a little
the
town.
girls who jumped in,
I'm glad I know.
Wait, you're actually there.
I know.
Yeah, so, I mean,
But
this is
it's
the
one of our
first fight
not
where
jump shot in?
students broke up the fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first one.
You
where
still
students
play
broke up.
Warzone
This
this
is
year.
surprising.
Bro,
You need to go get in playing this game.
If you still play Fortnite, you're
I don't play Fortnite.
And
I've been there.
Cause in the
Exactly. Wait, who are you, wait, Clark?
so the fact that nursing students rebound,
Second day in a row. See, nah, bro. I
makes
was
it
like,
more sad.
how?
Because I guess there was a teacher who decided too.
I'm